The interstellar council chamber buzzed with murmurs, tension hanging thick in the air. Representatives from countless alien civilizations filled the vast space, their eyes fixed on the holographic display at the center. On that display hovered Earth's solitary starship, the Odyssey, a sleek vessel unlike any other in the room, yet stark in its singularity. Only one ship. A tall, slender delegate from the Valkyr species asked, voice dripping with disbelief. For a mission of this magnitude, humanity sends just one vessel. It is almost laughable. Other delegates chuckled, their skepticism obvious. Earth was new to interstellar travel, still perceived as a fledgling in the cosmic arena. Sending a single ship to explore the recently discovered Viralia star system, a cluster of planets believed to hold untold scientific wonders, seemed to them a reckless gamble. In the council's quieter chambers, away from the prying eyes of aliens, Earth's leaders convened. President Malik stood tall, voice steady as he addressed his closest advisors. They don't understand. We have no choice but to send only one ship. Dr. Lena Voss, the lead engineer behind the Odyssey, nodded. Our resources are stretched thin. The war devastated much of our manufacturing infrastructure. Rebuilding took years. The Odyssey is the culmination of everything we managed to salvage and innovate. The recent decades had left Earth scarred yet resilient. The global conflict that had nearly shattered the planet's unity had forced humanity to rethink priorities. Space exploration, once a dream pursued by many nations independently, was now a unified effort, but limited by the fragile state of Earth's economy and technology. The Odyssey is not just a ship, Lena continued, her eyes shining with quiet pride. It's a symbol of what humanity can achieve when forced to focus, adapt, and overcome. Outside the chambers, the Odyssey stood ready on the launch pad, its hull gleaming beneath Earth's pale sun. Inside, the crew prepared in silence, each aware of the monumental task ahead. They were humanity's hope, the weight of an entire species rested on their shoulders. Captain Rajesh Iyer paced the corridor. We're not just explorers. We're ambassadors, pioneers, and a message to the galaxy. Humanity is here, and we will endure. The crew's diversity was a testament to humanity's strength. Scientists, engineers, diplomats, and survival experts from every continent and culture, united by one purpose. Their training had been rigorous, but it was their shared determination that would carry them through. As launch day arrived, media around the world broadcast the event live. Families, children, elders all watched with bated breath. The Odyssey's engines roared to life, a sound unfamiliar yet deeply stirring. Echoing humanity's heartbeat into the cosmos, the ship rose steadily, piercing the atmosphere, leaving behind a planet both fragile and proud. The council chamber fell silent as the projection of the Odyssey faded, no longer a ship on Earth, but a lone beacon venturing into the unknown. Back on Earth, President Malik addressed the world. This single ship carries the dreams, hopes, and spirit of every human being. Though small in number, it carries the vastness of our ambition. In the vastness of space, the Odyssey moved forward, alone, yet not lonely. Against doubt and odds, humanity had taken its first true step toward the stars, and the journey had only just begun. Beneath the shimmering blue sky and sprawling cities of Earth, a far different reality thrived. The world was healing, but scars from the recent global conflict ran deep. The war had ravaged infrastructure, depleted resources, and fractured alliances. Many nations had joined forces to rebuild, but progress was slow, and ambitions had to be tempered by harsh realities. In the sprawling complex of the Earth's space agency, engineers and scientists worked around the clock, driven by a single purpose: to complete the Odyssey. The vessel was unlike any spacecraft Earth had built before. It represented years of innovation, collaboration, and sacrifice. Yet, it was also the product of limitation. There simply weren't enough resources, materials, or time to construct. More than one Dr. Lena Voss stood in the assembly hall, watching technicians finish calibrating the ship's navigation systems. Her voice carried a quiet urgency as she spoke to a small group of engineers. "We pushed ourselves beyond what we thought possible," she said. "But we had to choose. Build many ships with outdated technology or build one with cutting-edge systems. We chose the latter." Years earlier, Earth had dreamed of sending fleets to the stars. Ambitious space programs vied for dominance and prestige. But the war changed everything. Factories that once produced spacecraft parts had been repurposed for defense. Research centers were damaged, and funding shifted toward immediate survival needs. When peace finally returned, humanity faced a new challenge: how to unite and rebuild in the shadow of destruction. The decision to send only one ship was not just about technology. It was about trust and sacrifice. The Odyssey's construction had been a global effort. Components crafted in scattered facilities around the world were shipped to a single assembly site. Every weld, every circuit, every detail was scrutinized for perfection. Despite the hardships, the Odyssey embodied hope. Its propulsion system combined nuclear fusion and experimental drives that promised faster than ever travel. Its AI Athena was designed to learn and adapt, serving as both guide and protector for the crew. Yet even with these advances, Earth's leaders knew the risks. The mission was a gamble on survival and exploration. Sending a single ship meant placing immense faith in the crew and the technology. In a quiet briefing room, President Malik addressed the mission's planners. "This is not just a technological endeavor, it's a test of humanity's resilience. We may have only one chance, but it is a chance we must take, away from public view." Specialists worked tirelessly to train the crew not only for exploration, but for the psychological toll of isolation. Months of simulations had revealed vulnerabilities, loneliness, stress, and the vast unknown could weaken even the strongest. Captain Rajesh Iyer met with mission psychologists, discussing ways to keep morale high. "We are the face of humanity. Out here," he said, "we must carry our strength, our unity, and our hope." Beyond the Earth Space Agency, citizens lived their lives amid rebuilding efforts. Families shared stories of survival. Children dreamed of the stars. Inspired by the Odyssey's journey, and, as the ship prepared to depart, Earth itself watched scarred, fragile, but fiercely alive. The choice to send only one ship was not weakness. It was humanity's declaration. Even in the face of hardship, it would reach for the stars. And from this struggle, a new chapter was about to begin. The Odyssey was a marvel of technology, but it was the people on board who would define its success. Selecting the crew was one of humanity's most difficult tasks, a process carried out in secret and with great care. Every candidate had been tested not only for skill and knowledge, but for character, resilience, and the ability to face the unknown with unwavering resolve. In the vast training facility beneath the Earth Space Agency, candidates gathered. They came from all corners of the planet, a microcosm of humanity's diversity. Engineers, biologists, diplomats, linguists, medical officers, and survival specialists. Each carried a story of sacrifice and determination, bound together by a singular mission. Captain Rashash stood before the group, his voice calm but commanding. "You are the first and only hope to represent humanity beyond our solar system. You carry not just equipment and data, but our values, our dreams, and our very existence." Among the crew was Dr. Mei Lin, a brilliant astrobiologist whose research on extremophiles had expanded humanity's understanding of life's resilience. Her calm demeanor hid a fierce curiosity, a desire to uncover the secrets that lay beyond. Then there was Lieutenant Amir Hassan, a skilled pilot who had once flown missions in harsh conditions on Earth. His steady hand and quick thinking were vital in navigating the unknown. Lila Ortega, the communications officer, had the delicate task of maintaining contact with Earth and decoding any alien signals. Fluent in multiple languages and trained in diplomacy, she was humanity's voice to the stars. Each member was rigorously trained not only in their specialties, but in teamwork. The Odyssey's confined environment meant they would live, work, and face crises together. Psychological support and conflict resolution were as important as technical skills. Months of simulations tested their limits. They endured isolation exercises, emergency scenarios, and unexpected system failures. These trials forged a bond stronger than any hierarchy. Outside the training rooms, families said their goodbyes. The weight of departure was felt deeply. Yet, the crew faced it with determination. Captain Ayer reflected privately on the immense responsibility. They carry the future on their shoulders. I must lead them not just with strategy, but with heart. The day before departure, the crew gathered for a final briefing. President Malick's message was broadcast live. "You are humanity's eyes and hands in the cosmos," he said. "Remember that you represent not just nations, but every person who looks to the stars with hope. Your courage defines us all." In the quiet moments before launch, the crew shared stories, fears, and dreams. Though from vastly different backgrounds, they had become a family. As the Odyssey's engines powered up, the crew prepared to leave behind everything familiar. They were alone in the vast expanse, but united by a singular purpose. The lone ship carried the best of humanity, not just in skill, but in spirit. They were the guardians of a fragile hope, sent to prove that even one small step could change the fate of a species. And as Earth watched, they held their breath, knowing that what the crew did next would echo across time and space. The day of departure arrived under a sky painted with soft hues of dawn. At the launch site, the Odyssey stood poised like a silent sentinel, its sleek frame gleaming as the first light of morning spilled across the horizon. The crew, clad in their flight suits, prepared for the moment that would etch their names into the annals of history. On Earth, millions watched the live broadcast. From bustling cities to quiet villages, eyes were glued to screens, hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and fear. Yet among the stars, not everyone shared that hope. In the observation decks of the Interstellar Council, the usual skeptics gathered once more. The Valkyr delegate, his long limbs folded in impatience, whispered to his companion, "One ship against the vast unknown. A fool's errand." Nearby, representatives of the Kelthor and the Korvax species nodded in agreement. "Their hubris will be their downfall," one muttered. "Humanity lacks the fleets and technology to survive out there." The mockery was clear, but the crew aboard the Odyssey had long expected it. Captain Rushhour, seated in the command center, reviewed their flight plans. His voice was steady as he addressed his team. "Let them doubt. We have something no amount of skepticism can take away: our determination." The Odyssey's AI Athena chimed softly. "Skepticism is an expected variable, prioritizing mission success." As the countdown began, the atmosphere was electric. Seconds stretched into eternity. Then, with a powerful roar, the engines ignited, and the Odyssey lifted smoothly from the launch pad. The ground trembled beneath the accelerating vessel, and cheers erupted across Earth. But far from Earth, alien observers watched, arms crossed, ready to witness humanity's failure. Inside the ship, the crew adjusted to the sensation of liftoff, the subtle vibrations reminding them of the fragile link between home and the unknown. Dr. Maylin glanced at the viewscreen, where Earth's blue glow faded into the vast blackness. "We're really doing this," she whispered. The first hours in space were filled with protocol checks, system diagnostics, and quiet conversations. Despite the tension, a sense of wonder threaded through. The crew? They were pioneers, stepping beyond a planet long familiar. Yet, even as the Odyssey sailed deeper into space, doubts from the galaxy lingered like shadows. News feeds from the Council broadcast skeptical commentary. Analysts predicted the ship would run out of supplies or be unable to handle the unexpected dangers of deep space. Back on Earth, the crew's families grappled with fear and pride. Communications were limited to preserve resources, but every brief message was treasured. Meanwhile, the crew prepared for the loneliness ahead. The vast silence of space was daunting. To counter it, the Odyssey's AI introduced interactive programs, shared news from Earth, and created simulations to keep minds sharp. Lieutenant Amir Hassan trained tirelessly in the simulator, honing skills for navigating through unpredictable conditions. "We don't just face space," he said. "We face doubt, isolation, and the unknown. We'll need to be ready for all." Captain Iyer convened regular meetings, reinforcing unity. "Our strength isn't just in technology," he reminded them. "It's in us, our spirit, our resilience. Let the universe doubt. We'll show them what humanity is capable of." As Earth receded behind them and the Odyssey sailed on, the crew carried the weight of expectation, the fire of hope against the cold gaze of the stars and the whispers of disbelief. Humanity's lone ship moved forward, a single beacon in the vastness, determined to prove that one ship, one crew, and one mission could change everything. The Odyssey had left Earth behind, sailing steadily into the vast, uncharted expanse of space. The crew moved through their routines with practiced precision, aware that every system check, every observation, was crucial to the success of their mission. Captain Rajai stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the stars beyond the viewport. The silence of space was profound, broken only by the quiet hum of the ship's systems. This vastness, once only imagined in stories, was now their reality. Dr. Malin peered into the lab's microscopes, examining samples collected from the ship's exterior, micrometeoroids and cosmic dust that might hold clues about the universe's origins. Her excitement was tempered by caution. Space was as dangerous as it was beautiful. Suddenly, Athena's voice broke the calm. "Unidentified spatial anomaly detected, bearing 42 degrees off the port bow. Estimated size, 300 kilometers." The crew's attention snapped to their stations. Sensors flickered, scanning the anomaly. It was a swirling cluster of energy and particles unlike anything recorded in human databases. Lieutenant Amir Hassan adjusted the ship's trajectory slightly. "We'll need to navigate carefully. Unknown phenomena like this could affect our systems." The anomaly pulsed with a strange rhythm, almost alive. The crew debated whether to study it or avoid it altogether. Curiosity won. "Prepare a probe," Captain Iyer ordered. "Send it in for data collection, but maintain a safe distance." As the probe ventured toward the anomaly, ship's sensors recorded fluctuating energy patterns, strange magnetic fields, and faint signals that defied known physics. The crew gathered around the displays, awed by the discovery. "This could rewrite what we know about the cosmos," Dr. Lin said, eyes wide with wonder. But excitement was quickly tempered by the reality of their isolation. The Odyssey was alone, thousands of light years from Earth, surrounded by mysteries and dangers. Days turned into weeks as the ship sailed deeper. The crew's routines became a delicate balance of scientific exploration, maintenance, and personal connection. They celebrated small victories, successful experiments, new data transmitted home. Moments of shared laughter. Lila Ortega monitored communications, sending regular updates to Earth, though the vast distances meant delays. Every message carried the hopes and dreams of billions. Despite their training, the crew faced moments of doubt. The silence of space, the absence of familiar stars. The unknown threats beyond sensors tested their resolve. Captain Ayer held regular meetings to strengthen morale. "We are the first of many," he reminded them. "Our journey is not just about discovery, but about proving that humanity can endure, adapt, and thrive." Unexpectedly, Athena detected a faint distress signal encoded in an ancient language. It was weak, fragmented, but unmistakably intelligent. The crew worked together to decode it, piecing together a message from a civilization long vanished. Warning of dangers lurking in the region. The revelation sent a ripple of tension through the ship. The vast unknown suddenly felt more immediate, more perilous. Yet, the crew's resolve hardened. They were no longer just explorers. They were guardians of knowledge and protectors of Earth's future. The Odyssey pressed onward, its solitary journey now a quest to uncover secrets that could change the understanding of life itself in the endless dark. Humanity's lone ship carried the light of curiosity, courage, and the unyielding spirit to explore the message from the ancient civilization. Hung heavily in the air of the Odyssey's command center, its fragmented warning hinted at dangers lurking in the uncharted depths ahead. Unseen perils that had driven an entire species to extinction. Captain Rashaj Ayer studied the decoded transmissions, his expression grim. "We're not just explorers anymore," he said quietly. "We're walking into a trap left behind by those who came before us." Dr. Mei Lin leaned over the console, examining the strange energy signatures the probe had recorded near the anomaly. The data shows intense fluctuations in gravitational fields, as if something massive is hidden within the void. "But our sensors can't penetrate the core." Lieutenant Amir Hassan tightened his grip on the controls. "Our shields are holding, but if there's something out there, we need to be prepared for anything." For days, the crew worked tirelessly, upgrading the Odyssey's sensors and reinforcing the ship's defenses. Athena, their AI companion, analyzed every bit of incoming data, running simulations and preparing contingency plans. Despite the tension, the crew maintained their routines, finding strength in their shared purpose. Still, the pressure weighed on everyone. The isolation of space was beginning to seep into their minds. Shadows growing where light once lived. In the quiet moments, fears whispered. What if this mission was humanity's last? What if the ancient warning was more than a tale of caution? During a routine systems check, a sudden spike in energy disrupted communications. The Odyssey jolted as external sensors detected an object emerging from the dark, the shape of a massive vessel. Unlike any known design, its surface shimmering with unfamiliar technology. The ship had been watched. Captain Ayer ordered all crew. 2 battle stations, unknown vessel approaching. Prepare for possible contact. The alien craft remained silent, its intentions unreadable. The Odyssey's AI attempted communication, but responses were met with static and interference. Tensions mounted as the distance between ships closed. The crew held their breath, waiting for the inevitable. Then, the unknown vessel deployed a swarm of small drones, agile and fast-aimed at the Odyssey's hull. Athena activated defensive protocols, deploying energy shields and countermeasures. The ship shook under the assault, but the crew's training held steady. Lila Ortega coordinated with Athena, managing communications and attempting to decipher any patterns in the drone attacks. "We're under siege," she reported. "But these drones seem almost curious, testing our responses rather than trying to destroy." Captain Ayer saw an opportunity. "Open a channel, let's try a non-aggressive message. Show them we mean no harm." The response was unexpected, a series of symbols flashing on the view screen, shifting and changing in rhythm. Athena's algorithms worked furiously to decode, revealing a primitive attempt at communication. A message emerged, a warning, but also a plea. The alien vessel's occupants had been guardians of the void, protecting ancient secrets that were not meant to be disturbed. The Odyssey's crew faced a choice: respect the warning and retreat, or push forward into uncertainty. Captain Ayer gathered his team. Our mission is to explore and learn, but not at the cost of our survival. We must decide carefully what risks to take. In the darkness between stars, humanity confronted a new reality that the universe was far older, more complex, and more guarded than they had ever imagined. And in that silence, the fate of the Odyssey hung in the balance. The Odyssey's crew gathered in the command center, the weight of the recent encounter pressing on their shoulders. The alien vessel drifted just beyond sensor range, its eerie silhouette a reminder that the universe held more mysteries on, dangers than they had ever imagined. Captain Rajesh Iyer stared at the view screen, the alien symbols still fresh in his mind. They're not enemies, but guardians. Their warnings are clear. We must tread carefully. Dr. Mei Lin nodded thoughtfully. Their technology is advanced, but their message suggests a deep desire to protect something, perhaps knowledge or artifacts, from a lost civilization. Leela, Ortega worked with Athena, translating and decoding the alien signals. They're responding to our attempts at communication. It's slow, but there's a pattern. They want to test if we can understand and respect their rules. The crew spent long hours crafting responses, deliberate, cautious messages designed to show humility and curiosity without aggression. The Odyssey's AI assisted, simulating countless scenarios to avoid misunderstandings. Days passed in tense waiting. Then, the alien vessel adjusted its position, allowing the Odyssey to send a small exploration drone. The gesture was a tentative step toward trust. Inside the Odyssey, hope blossomed. The crew felt the fragile beginnings of connection, not just between species, but between the unknown and the familiar. Captain Ayer addressed the team. This is a chance to learn without conflict. We represent humanity's best, and we must honor that trust. The drone sent back images, vast ruins on a nearby moon. Structures carved from crystalline rock, shimmering with an ancient light. Signs of a civilization that had vanished eons ago. Dr. Lin's eyes lit with awe. This is what they've been guarding, the remnants of a lost world, a history we were never meant to uncover so easily. The alien guardians' warnings made sense now. They protected these ruins to preserve the balance, to prevent dangerous knowledge from falling into reckless hands. Yet, the Odyssey's crew knew exploration meant risks and discovery demanded bravery. Captain Ayer convened a council with his senior officers. We must ask, what do we do now? Respect their boundaries and return, or seek to understand more, risking conflict? Lieutenant Amir Hassan spoke with quiet conviction. We came to explore, to learn. But we must also respect. Our survival depends on balance. The decision was made. They would proceed, but only with explicit consent from the alien guardians. Lila Ortega sent a carefully worded message, requesting permission to send a crewed shuttle to the moon's surface for study and dialogue. The response was slow, but finally arrived a complex sequence of symbols and images that Athena interpreted as cautious approval. Coupled with a warning, trespassers would face consequences. The Odyssey prepared for the first human steps on an alien world, untouched for millennia. As the shuttle descended, the crew felt the weight of history and hope intertwined. They were the first to bridge a gap between civilizations, to forge a fragile alliance in the vast unknown above them. The alien vessel observed silently, guardians watching over the delicate dance of trust and discovery. In this moment, humanity's journey transcended mere exploration. It became a testament to respect, understanding, and the unyielding will to survive, not just as individuals, but as a species, and so, under alien skies. The Odyssey crew stepped forward, ready to meet the past, face the future, and redefine humanity's place among the stars. The shuttle's engines hummed softly as it descended through the thin, shimmering atmosphere of the alien moon. Below, vast crystalline ruins stretched out like a city frozen in time, their sharp edges catching the light of a distant star. The Odyssey crew watched from orbit, hearts pounding with anticipation. Captain Rajay stood beside Dr. Mei Lin and Leela Ortega in the shuttle's cabin. "Remember," he said, voice steady, "we are guests in their world. Every step must honor their trust." The shuttle touched down gently on the crystalline surface. Outside, the alien moon was both breathtaking and eerie, a landscape of towering spires and reflective surfaces that seemed alive with a faint glow. The crew disembarked slowly, their boots crunching on glittering dust. Dr. Lin carefully collected samples, marveling at the alien flora's delicate crystalline structures that seemed to pulse with energy. Leela Ortega activated the portable translator, ready to respond to any communication from the Guardians as they ventured deeper into the ruins. Strange glyphs and holographic images flickered to life stories of a civilization that had reached the stars, only to vanish mysteriously. The message was clear. Knowledge without wisdom could bring ruin. Suddenly, a figure appeared, tall, graceful, and shimmering with a light that seemed woven from the moon itself. The alien guardian. The being's voice echoed not through sound but thought, a gentle presence that filled their minds. "You have shown respect and courage. We offer knowledge, but also a warning. The universe is vast and fragile. Balance must be preserved." Captain Ayer bowed his head. "We seek to learn, to grow, and to protect. Humanity is young among the stars, but we are determined." The Guardian extended a hand, revealing a glowing sphere, a repository of ancient wisdom and technology. It was an invitation and a challenge. Back on the Odyssey, the crew reflected on the journey that had brought them here, from Earth's hopeful launch to this moment of profound connection. "We came as explorers, but we found teachers." Dr. Lin said softly, "This knowledge could propel humanity forward if we use it wisely." Leela smiled. "And it's a reminder that we are part of something greater, a community of life spanning the cosmos." Captain Ayer addressed his crew and, through the ship's communication array, "The people of Earth, our journey proves that even one ship, one crew, can change the fate of humanity. We have much to learn and even more to protect." As the Odyssey prepared to continue its voyage, the crew knew their mission was only beginning. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders and challenges, but humanity had answered the call with fire, steel, and relentless spirit. Their place among the stars was no longer a question of survival, but of becoming explorers, learners, and guardians of a future they would shape together. And as the Odyssey sailed onward, Earth watched with hope and pride, knowing that one small ship had proven the limitless power of human courage.